Hello, everyone. It is March 3, 2022, and you're watching the Awesome 10X Live Crypto Market Update. Let's understand why cryptocurrency has been a benefit of the winner, is a winner on this war. First and foremost, for those who are new in the channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and go take a look on my Twitter account. My name is Nikki, and you're seeing my Twitter as @FacesTrader. So you can clearly see here that yes, let's talk about the geopolitical war. So right now, I tweeted this: Putin's war is costing Russians their lives, their companies, their entire savings getting wiped out. As always, the 144 million innocent poor civilians are now the ones trapped and dead. They did not want this. Not all Russians approve of the invasion. However, as a whole country becomes global pariah, they're getting hit with economic sanctions. Those are collateral damages. And look at these pictures. All of us are dead. If you've watched that Netflix, it looks like a zombie apocalypse right now in Russia. The people are scrambling to get out of Russia. However, this is not a series, it's not a movie. This is real life. People queuing by ticket offices to get out of Moscow. All of their payment services are now gone. They are doing Apple MacBooks and iPhones as their currencies. Long queues are now forming, cash points, currency exchanges. People are scrambling to take out their money, fearing their savings could be zero in just a few days. I waited for just an hour to buy dollars. Kyle, which is an American citizen working in Moscow, said, but the woman in front of me got the last dollar. Those who cannot get their hands on foreign currency have been putting it into almost anything they can. Electronic stores, jewelries, a flurry of customers are just converting all their salary into a valuable. We only have one MacBook left. A worker at the Apple reseller on Moscow's upmarkets Verskaya Street, but it is a small one. The bigger ones have all gone. Inflation, which is already out of control even before the invasion, and Washington's threat of banning American made products are also driving up prices. Online, new iPhones have been selling for about half a million rubles, which would be equivalent to around 5,000 pounds just 2 weeks ago, with people fearing they might be unable to get hold of them. Imagine, Russia is now back to the Neanderthal times. It's a barter system. An Apple MacBook could be worth 1,000 cans of Coca-Cola, 1,000 canned goods of food supply. War times is really a time where uh, these things happen. Look at the faces of war. So Afghans, if you recall, the Taliban struggles. Remember, U.S. also left. Look at these. Afghans are facing starvation as economic crisis worsens and Taliban struggles. The faces of war is not just Russia and Ukraine. It's actually a lot of countries. And of course, what we are seeing here is that a lot of companies as well are getting hit. And what is very much an easy trade is look at like this. As a European, I also tell this: would you hold euros or would you hold Bitcoin? The Bitcoin has already spoken. Short other currencies, Bitcoin is the only currency right now that Russians are actually able to transact. This is Bitcoin dollar. You are seeing a huge onslaught of buying pressure as the entire Russian economy has already been sanctioned out of the system in the world, and without any global banks accepting any of their money, that means that only acceptable global value, their fiat, is zero. BTC USD. Take a look at these. Ruble, BTC Russian ruble. As the Russian ruble devalues in price to zero, it's highly likely that the Russian ruble is going to go all-time highs. Sorry, the Bitcoin against Russian ruble is going to go all-time highs. So, if you were a Russian, just take a look at this. If you had not parked your money in Bitcoin, this is what would have happened to your money. You would have lost 15 times. Basically, if you had 150,000 Russian rubles, it can buy nothing. Whereas if you converted your rubles to Bitcoin, you have everything if you converted to Bitcoin. even as Bitcoin is trading at 43,000. So let's take a look on people who still have not opened their accounts. I'm not an affiliate of, I am a Binance P2P, but really you can open any account you have. So people are always asking me, hey, how do you buy cryptocurrency? And I always tell them, you just simply open an account in Binance, and here is how you do it. Okay, so this is like how it's done. You open an account in Binance, just like what you will do with anything. And as a Philippines, buy and sell your crypto locally. What you could do for your pesos is you convert your pesos first to some dollars. So you can usually pay P2P. So look at that. So 51.30, 51.40. These are your merchants that are selling you some of your fiat. For example, this one is selling for 51.48. It's a little bit high. You'll notice that for the last few months already, the dollar has been gaining ground. Look at this. Um, there. Well, it was Fed interest rate hikes and now geopolitical events forcing the world to basically go to the dollar, as the dollar is their safe haven currency. So there, that's why even the Philippine pesos, we are expected to devalue. I don't know if we'll devalue here about 52, 50, 53, or 54. But you can clearly see here that there is a strong rampage towards the dollar against the pesos. So the world is actually already clamoring for a lot of dollars. Let's take a look at DXY here. The dollar currency index is shooting up. You're seeing the euro dollar hit new lows. Ayan, no? It's just going down all the drain. So, euros are dropping as the Russian crisis continues. A lot of Venezuela's, of course, you know naman, all of those bolivars are nothing. What you're seeing is that the Afghanistan is now being treated the same as Russia. Russia and Afghanistan, what's the difference? Almost the same. Um, Look at that. BTC ruble, that is where the money has to be. Look at BTC, even look at no, Mexican peso. Oh. Basically, you will only appreciate Bitcoin. The only way for you to appreciate Bitcoin is when your entire currency devalues. I mean, can you imagine if the Philippines were at war today? Who's gonna own Philippine pesos? Perhaps nothing. Your Philippine peso is not valuable. At some point in time, there might come a time in an actual war when what is precious is your food. In a real war, what's precious is food, guns, gold, bitcoins, yeah, supermarkets basically. So a few things, doomsday preppers. Of course, we also have a lot of ideas on where you should overweight. You can follow us on Twitter, can follow our yeah, you can follow our Twitter. But let me explain to you, no? So, of course, the easiest bet in the world, just go long Bitcoin and short all the authoritarian governments. Because authoritarian governments are going to go zero while Bitcoin is stable and valued upward. So, you want to go long Bitcoin against Mexican peso, Bitcoin against Russian ruble. Um, right now, Ukraine has become the front line in a struggle, not just between democracies and autocracies, but a struggle for maintaining a rules based system in which the things that countries want are not taken by force. Every country in the world should be paying close attention. Take note, this is a full spectrum information war. And what happens in a Russian all of society war? You soften up the enemy. You get the Tucker Carlsons, Donald Trump's doing your job for you. The fact that Putin managed to persuade Trump that Ukraine belongs to Russia and that Trump would be willing to give up Ukraine without any kind of fight, that was a major success for Putin's information war. He has gotten swaths of Republican Party and some on the left as well as on the right, masses of US public saying, good on you, Vladimir Putin, blaming the NATO, blaming the US for this outcome. This is exactly what our Russian information war and psychological operation is geared towards. We have been at war for a very long time. Look at how the Filipinos, some of them, they cannot even ostracize and criticize what is an actual genocidal crisis. I mean, look at this. I mean, how can anyone with any understanding of the world call the decision to kill people and invade a genius attack or a savvy attack? Diba? How could it be like that? So anyway, if you are thinking that if you are thinking that more chaos is happening, it's very clear that Bitcoin is the way to go for your survival. I'll very clearly give you this. Um, I shared this one. In an act of war, there are several ways for you to protect your assets. Okay, so this is how I believe you have to protect your assets. Right now, concentrate your highest conviction position on a few things. Number one, Bitcoin will be the main universal currency, at least for Ukraine and Russia. They got already global pariah status. Well, Russia has a global pariah status. Ukraine is not. So, as a Russian, if you were caught on the crossfire, what happened overnight to your money is paper money. It's not useful. Number two, defense industries in a physical war zone. So you're seeing really the war is a sustained state. Military spending will increase throughout Europe states, perhaps even Asia. We haven't seen Asia, but mostly on European states. Germany, France Chancellor, they all talked about it. Cybersecurity, number three, it is not an afterthought. It is already a necessity in every large network. Consider if you are a French bank. What if you're a European bank? You could get hacked by Russia overnight. A spy can just enter, take all the details, and hack the entire country as an act of war. Cybersecurity, any company is susceptible to massive theft, and cyber crimes are not going to go away. Persistent high commodities are also happening, which is sparking large consequences on oil and inflation. Have you seen the Philippine peso oil? It's already nearing 70 pesos with $110 oil. We cannot stop inflation this way. We are getting affected through inflation worldwide. And the consequence of these expensive food, expensive prices, we will go hungry as well. Because if you don't have money, how could you pay for 100% increase on food prices? So this only hastens the need for super decarbonization trends, which is you don't want to rely on Russian oil and gas. But right now, we couldn't rely on anything else. That's why you are seeing in the Philippines, DMCI was going up. Why? Because coal just hit another all-time high. Coal prices are now trading at $400. Look at what's happening with coal. HCC. Oh my gosh, there you go. All the coal prices, no? So we are in the middle of an inflationary crisis, and there's war involved here. So how do you protect your money? Okay, so I know this is a crypto update, but there are several ways. For crypto, it's very easy. We will, of course, support Bitcoin. That is the main currency of the world, the main universal currency. I do believe that that is already the low. This one is the low of 34,000. You want to continue buying even at 43,000 or 44K. Any dips near 40,000 is a buying zone. The first resistance of Bitcoin will be this one at 53,000. You may argue that some people are just exchanging their money into the dollar. That is also possible. They can also be parking in USD Tethers, in Ethereum. Let's go for these. Ethereum can also be where the money has parked because Russia, Vitalik Buterin, of course, these people deserve to have a currency that is not gonna be hyperinflationary, and Ethereum is the way for them. So let's take a look at Ethereum rubles. A lot of Russians, to save themselves from this monstrous attack against their economy, against their society, the way for them to fight back is, of course, to have Bitcoin and Ethereum. Look at that. These are complete breakouts to all-time high moves. You want to go long Ethereum against the dollar, against the ruble, against many currencies. Now, for the Philippine pesos, Yes, of course, it's going up, right? Yeah. Dollar peso is on an uptrend. There you go. Looks to go to about 52 and 52.5. How about Binance? Yes, it's also an uptick. Usually, in my view, I think the biggest beneficiary is really Bitcoin. But usually, because cryptocurrency is interrelated, I'd say that Binance is also here, also going to go up. But really, I think it's really Bitcoin and Ethereum more than anything. The other altcoins, nobody really will care about them. This is a macro situation. And from a macro situation, it's really Bitcoin. So what am I doing? Of course, we can buy Bitcoin miners. This is Bitfarms. We made some bullish reversal plays on Bitfarms. So that is a buy zone, $3 to $4. You can of course buy Hot Mining, which is a Canadian company that is mining a lot of Bitcoin. These are all buying entries. $6 is a buying zone all the way below. Of course, you can also buy some some US miners, Riot. I'm looking at this as a potential uptick. Mara, it's a potential uptick. Of course, if you just want to buy Bitcoin, you can do it through a Bitcoin strategy ETF like Bito. You can buy this one. You can also buy Michael Saylor's fund, which is MicroStrategy. This is perhaps going to go up. So we're bullish on MicroStrategy. We're also bullish on Coinbase. Coinbase said that they will allow Russians to open accounts with Coinbase Global. Solana said that they will give $25 to every Ukrainian who opens an account. So it is their way. $10 million was just given by Binance to help the Ukrainians. $3 billion of aid for Ukraine given by the UN. At the end of the day, nobody wins in a war. I'm not saying that Russia deserves to lose money and all of their life savings and companies, but this is also what's happening with Russia. Look at this. Russia from about 33 is now down to 7. Can it go to $1? So you can imagine it's like seeing the Philippine index go from like 7,000 to $70, something like that, or $700. So these are the results and the phases of World War III. And you have to protect your life savings and diversify it towards the dollar and towards the Bitcoin. I think this should be a very clear position for you to long Bitcoin. Is there any other questions there? There's no questions, guys. So we do believe that crypto is a winner in a geopolitical event, specifically Bitcoin. Let me explain more. I have a lot of pictures about it. Wait up. Those are pictures, Bitcoin. So take note, EU dependence on Russian gas. Therefore, in order to prevent the Russian invasion, of course, you can cripple them through their gas. So most of these countries will have to have alternative energy and do it fast before it worsens, right? Um, okay, Palantir, Bitcoin dollar. Yeah, those are ways for you to really save yourself from this onslaught. Okay, so total crypto market cap. So far, looks like this is already a reversal there. So I think that cryptocurrency will be dominated by geopolitical events, and it is here to stay, unfortunately. So expect cyber warfare and physical warfare for the life that we have for our children. Yun. So this is on the upside in my view. Crypto market is gonna go up in light of the war. Thank you very much for listening. If there are no questions, see you again tomorrow. And sorry, tomorrow I'm going to talk about global markets. Yes, and please do follow our Twitter, Faces Trader. Follow and like. If you have questions, just comment and message. So we've been doing a lot of bullish risk reversals. These are mostly uraniums, some warfare, some solars. Yeah, we're long a lot of cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin correlation. Yun. A lot of attacks. This one I think is important for people to answer. To read Gary Kasparov, chairman of the Human Rights Foundation, of course the world chess champion. So why he wrote a report, he wrote a book 2015, why Vladimir Putin and the enemies of the free world must be stopped. So we're actually in a war. This is about democracy. So yun, written in 2014, just after Putin invaded Ukraine and annexed Crimea. There are many Winter is Coming excerpts that are painfully timely now. I will leave this here before I start working on Winter is Here. I often joke, I told you so. Winter is here. A war on any ground is terrible. Putin's dangerous turn to ethically based imperialism cannot be ignored. Ethnically based imperialism cannot be ignored. Like Nazi, basically, Hitlerism. Those who say Ukraine conflict is far away, unlikely to lead to global instability, miss the clear warning that Putin has given us. There is no reason to believe that his announced vision of a greater Russia will end with Eastern Ukraine, and many reasons to believe it will not. He's doing a Germany style, like Nazi thinking. Dictators only stop when they are stopped. Appeasing Putin with Ukraine will only stoke his appetite for more conquest. Ukraine is just one battle the free world would like to ignore in a larger war it refuses to acknowledge even exists. Pretending you don't have enemies does not make it true. Berlin Wall, the Soviet Union are gone, but the enemies of freedom who built them are not. History does not end, it runs in cycles. The failure to defend Ukraine is the failure of the Ally to defend Czechoslovakia in 1938. The world must act now so that Poland in 2015 will not be called on to play the role of Poland in 1939. That is your Garry Kasparov chess champion, guys. In case you don't know that we are already in a World War III, I do believe that we are. There is a war. Democracy versus dictatorial. So just think about it and do your best to prepare your family for the right way. That's why long Bitcoin. Bye bye.